This is LUMIBRICKS Watermill when it's bright outside, but let's see what happens when it goes dark. It glows. But that's not the only feature this set has to offer. So let's go and find out. This set is made by LUMIBRICKS, or formerly known as Funhole. The set comes in at a piece count of 1,278 pieces and has 7 different lighting locations. And the total list price is $110. But now, let's dive into the itty-nitty details of this set. So although this set is not truly modular, it still really is easy to look inside and admire the beauty and attention of detail the designers have put into this set. And the first way to do it is just by simply taking off this half of the roof, just like that. You can place it to the side. Although this side here of the roof is fixed to the structure of the house, it still is really easy to see most of the important details of the upper level. The first detail, of course, being this lighting element and some of the printed details and the sacks, and just in general, really the detailed elements that really bring the set alive. But what makes the set even more alive is the fact that it has a live play feature. And that play feature is a mechanical drive that goes throughout the entire building. And you can control that by simply cranking this shaft over here. And as you do it, you can see as it's turning the grindstone up there where you will put in the meat to then grind it down into essentially what I believe is flour. Now, this is one way to look at the attic, or I should say the second level of the house. But what you can also do is you can simply pull on here, and because the tiles are round in the top here, this wall will come out quite easily, and you have the opportunity to look at it from another angle, and there's a small little printed detail over here, and it just makes it so much more easier and more interactive to look at, which I really like. And then once you're done, you simply take it and you pop it back in just like that. Super easy, and you're back to having a regular wall. Now, the same feature applies to if you want to access and look at the first level. You just pull out this wall, and right there and then you create it with the main level of the house. And the cool thing about the first level is that you can do the exact same thing again, and you can simply pop out the wall over here. It has some details on there, and you can place it aside, and now you have a really great access to the base level. And as you can tell, this set is really covered with a lot of small details, which I love to discover. And I find that the set really comes to life in the front. I really enjoy the water elements that flow under this, I guess you could say, small little bridge. And just the way the bridge was designed, I find it just it's really cool building the techniques. And I like how you can see how the watermill turns as you turn the shaft. And it just has so many small little details, I find, with a small tree in the back here and some access to the water, and I think that just brings the set so to life, and that's something that I really enjoy about this set. But now I want to talk about the highlight of this set, which of course is the lighting. So you have one lighting fixture in the roof, you have 2 in the main floor, one over here and one hidden in the back over here. And then from the front, you have yourself a small lighting in behind the water wheel and the torch over here, as well as 2 lighting elements in the water to illuminate the water. So those are the various lighting features of the set that really make this feel alive, like there's something going on there, that is life in the house, and that just gives this cozy vibe, which I personally really appreciate. Now you might ask yourself, well, how is this wired and how is it powered? Well, the cool thing about the set is that it tries to hide the wires as good as possible by simply having this drawer here I can call that you can pull out where most of the wires are connected. And the way it's powered is by either you can plug in this USB type A plug, or you could use a battery pack where you can put in 2 batteries which aren't included to power the set with the small battery pack that's included. Now, is it hard to actually wire the lighting for the set? Well, I'd say it's at times a little tricky, but for the most part it's quite straightforward, and the set does a really good job at explaining it, as you can see within the instructions manual. Now, let's talk about some of the criticisms that I have with the set. And the biggest one comes with the wiring. I think for this particular set, it is a little distracting at times, especially in the front here where it's really obvious with the lantern. I think the wiring is too obvious, especially at this point, but also in some different locations. As you can see here on the back side, the wire coming down over here, or inside the first floor where you can see the wiring along that lantern. And the fact that the wiring is so obvious, it kind of a little takes away from this illusion that is actually real medieval lighting. So that's a critique point, and I wish they would have done a better job at hiding the lighting. Other than that, the minifigures don't really do much for me. It's not personally my style and choice of how I like them, and I also find they're terribly hard to put together, as you have to individually put the arms into the hands, and then the hands and the arms in the torso, and it's really hard to force them in there. So that's something that I really haven't warmed up to. So now, would I recommend buying this set? Well, I think for $110, you're still getting fair value for your money. It's a little bit pricey, but I think the fact that you get these intricate building techniques, the 7 different lighting options, and this mechanical feature all in one set that is so nicely designed, I still think it's a fair value, even though it's on the pricier side. So what I would recommend is wait for a deal to come on, and maybe you can get it for a little bit cheaper, and then I would say it's definitely a green flag and a go ahead. But if you're a little impatient or not too price sensitive, I still say this is a set worth buying. I hope you enjoyed this review, and consider subscribing to my channel. Otherwise, until then, stay safe and goodbye.